Hello and welcome to the Other Team's Tunes Tuesday, a weekly series that discusses music and matters with queer artists you love. I'm your host, Maud Mosley. My pronouns are they, them, and joining me this week is Toronto-based punk band The Black Void. Thank you so much for being here with me this week. Would each of you like to introduce yourselves?
My name is Erica. My pronouns are she, her, and I play the bass in the band.
And sing.
And sing.
Very much.
Yeah.
In the band.
Sing beautifully in the band.
Yes, very much.
My name is Laura. My pronouns are she, her, and I play synthesizer in the band.
And sing.
And
sing.
sing backups, yeah.
I'm Spacker Dave. My pronoun, I accept all pronouns. I like them all. No, I don't like any of them, but I take them all.
I'm with you.
I play guitar and I do a lot of singing.
Awesome. Well, it's so amazing to have you all here today. And I'm so glad because I actually fairly recently discovered your music at a show you were playing outside of the pub Swan Dive. It was so awesome to come across that.
Swan Dive's the best.
Yes, shout out. But to talk more about your music and I guess a bit of your music's online presence, you currently have a music video out right now for your song Digital Joy, and it compiles old black and white footage and alongside your music kind of presents that footage in a way that is playfully sexual, which is very fun. But what
Glad you know this.
That's our vibe for sure, playfully sexual.
Oh my gosh, and we are gonna come back to that. But overall, what was the inspiration for that, music video? And do you plan on or hope to make more?
Yes, we have a bunch of plans for a bunch more music videos. We have directors lined up. We've got some stuff storyboarded. We've got some stuff workshopped. It's a time and money thing.
The ideas are there.
Yeah.
This music video specifically, one of our friends, Toronto-based artist Tristan Johnson, did the video for us. Gifted director, and I said, I want you to make us a music video from stock footage, and I want you to see how sexy you can make stock footage be.
I'd say he did a really good job.
Yeah, you nailed it if that was the instruction. I was watching this this Zeppelin, and I was going
coming out of
really slowly.
Right into the moon.
Right into the moon.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so perfect. And I mean, time and money is really, I think, the constraints that every musician can unfortunately relate to. Great time
that video was a steal.
Yeah.
An outright steal.
Great time to plug buy their cassettes, buy their merch. You're gonna love them throughout this interview. Support. Yes.
Sad songs about sentient sex toys and other terrible tales available through Tarantula Tapes out of Barrie.
Yes, it will be linked below the video. Please do this. We need more music videos from The Black Void. Can you share anything about what some of those ideas are? Is there any little hints or teasers you can give us?
Sure.
Maybe for something rotten or flesh. Or...
Yeah. For our song Something's Rotten, also on this cassette, I want to do an homage to 1930s noir. And I have a premise with a femme fatale and a private detective. And we're going to start there. And a lot of the chase is going to be the detective chasing down something which is rotten. And we're working on another song, our new song, which we have too many singles, but this is a song that people keep saying, oh, that's the single. Well, which one isn't the single at this point? But this one is called The Dapperest Fuckboy. And It's based on a friend of mine. Shout outs to MFC Chicken, currently based out of Barcelona.
And Spencer Ehoy, the absolute inspiration for the Dapper Spoke Boy, which he knows
Colonel
about.
Spencer Boy.
And I think he's actually kind of flattered by. So.
It's a lovingly backhanded tribute to one of my very good friends. And he doesn't know this, but he's going to be in the video. And we're definitely going to have him scrolling through Tinder, and I'm going to see if I can get us being the people in Tinder.
I love these ideas. Oh my gosh, those are so good. I cannot wait to see them come to life. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later, because that would just
Right?
yeah, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But yeah, you held up the wonderful cassette showing that to us, sad songs about sentient sex toys and other terrible tales. And you know, as we kind of just talked about with that like playfully sexual, you know, you have this mention of sentient sex toys in the title of it. And as you held up, you know, what you can see in that cover imagery and kind of your band logo is that like toaster with a strap on, not to mention your like iconic merch that just has like as a question and then like yes, no, and black void and the black void as the answers.
Oh, we should have had one of those ready to go.
I know. I love to see it. But yeah, like where did this, you know, imagery or pattern come from, and kind of just what do you love about it? Because it appears a lot.
I like to fuck.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, Dave really had this kind of sexual theme, and I would like to think I helped because I like cute merch.
Yes.
I like very cutesy, like
She definitely helped take it from
adorable merch.
raunchy to cute, and
Yeah.
now it's a lot more playful.
It can be both, like you
Yeah.
know, the dildoster I think is both raunchy and cute, and so it's fun to walk that line and just make it. I feel like it's more approachable if it's like adorable and sexy.
It's totally better. It's totally better than what I had before.
It's just like the magic of teamwork is what
Yeah.
created this.
And we do have the anal shirt, but there was a short run of original Black Void t-shirts.
Oh,
And they say, I heart porn, the Black Void.
yeah, we got a friend to spray paint. We had like 20 of them or something.
Yeah.
This was in 2010, 2011.
They're still out in the wild. I've never seen one. However, they sold out immediately. Like, they were gone in a show. We should have made like 5 times as many. They were just gone.
Yeah.
And the anal shirts sell like crazy.
I mean, there could always be a reprise.
I was about to say, like, how can we make this reprint happen?
Well, since you mentioned, we actually make most of our merch ourselves. I print the t-shirts myself. I have a day job where I work for a printing company. It's actually the company that makes the printer, and I'm tech and I service the printer. And the printer, one of its multiple functions is it does direct to garment printing. So Laura goes to Valley Village and buys secondhand t-shirts.
I try to find cute ones,
Yes.
you know, not just like, you know, plain. I like interesting details or tie-dye or prints or something that, you know, you don't usually get to have from a regular band shirt, I guess, or it's a little more interesting, you know, it's not just black t-shirt and logo. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we want to stand out just a little bit.
Laura is a gifted thrifter. And then I take her excellent thrifting work and I go and put weird bullshit on it at the printer at work.
I love that. And I love, you know, obviously everything about kind of like any DIY setup like has such a special place in my heart. And so I love hearing about that. I love seeing it at your show. And also like you made jewelry, like merch jewelry, which I thought was the coolest thing as well. Because I feel like more and more bands as they have to like rely on merch because streaming doesn't give anyone any money. So it's all about merch sales, but it's like So everyone's like making shirts, but now people are trying to get away with that because everyone else can only own so many shirts. And even if we love bands, we just realistically can't all keep buying
We
shirts.
can't.
The drawers
like-
are so full.
Yeah. So finding ways to mix that up is amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it was just again like cute stuff. Like I basically thought about what would I want for band merch. I'd want it glittery. I want jewelry. I want like a shirt with a fucking bow on it and a low back that's cute. Like that. So I just kind of was selfishly making what I like to see, I suppose. And it turns out people liked it.
Yeah.
You're a trendsetter.
The fuck off pins are a very big seller.
They
Yeah.
sell like crazy. Fuck
I
off.
bet.
is
I
the
mean, especially if
last
you're-
line. The last line from the last song on Sad Songs is fuck off. So that became
Yes.
merch.
I mean, especially if you're selling them at shows, because I think that's just the general way people feel at shows,
Yeah.
especially often queers. We're like, all right, touch my waist one more time.
Exactly. That's so funny.
I threatened to kick the shit out of this guy at Tail of the Junction. I saw him grab my friend and I saw her like turn around. No, 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 no. And then another girl was walking past him and I saw her feel her up across. No. I went over. I'm like, you need to leave now. I will beat the shit out of you.
Mhm.
And he's like, I lost my phone. So you thought it was in her tits? Like, no, get the fuck out. I will kick the fucking shit out of you. Now, no way in hell I could have kicked the shit out of this guy. No way in hell. But I'm pretty tall, so people back down.
Yeah. And I mean, it's so
Right.
necessary to like stand up for each other in venue spaces because
Yeah.
it's such a sad
yeah.
reality that often it is just community members. Like there should be
Yeah.
other systems in place, but often it's just like, is my friend here? Is like a stranger going to help me? Are they going to support me? Or am I just going to like feel terrible and scared and nervous and get really quiet and like hope I can walk away? And like
Yeah.
shows are supposed to be fun and like a good
Yes.
time. And it's definitely like, thank you for doing that. Thank you for like the ways that we can support one another, especially in like the punk scene and punk venues. Like more of it, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
I cannot abide that kind of shit.
No.
If any of that shit happens at one of my shows, I want to know about it. I want people gone. I want them blacklisted. I want them out. I don't want those people at my shows.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, speaking of shows, I did mention that I had the absolute pleasure of seeing you fairly recently. And there was a toaster involved, which we can see on like, on your imagery, like that toaster with a strap on. It's so cool. And like I learned that was pretty like, oh my God, do we have the toast? Yes.
have the
Toaster.
We have the toaster. So there was this toaster and you were drumming on that and a Home Depot bucket. I honestly just like want to hear more about that. Like, I feel like I don't have this. I usually come up with these like specific questions, but I just like toaster ?
It's a good question.
Well, if you go back and look at a lot of our old photos, Eric and I started the band in Montreal in 2009.
Yeah.
And the toaster has been a part of the band for almost that long. There are some old photos of us in the streets of Montreal with the toaster, and we were dressed for a wedding, I suppose.
Yeah, you were in a wedding dress.
I was in a big bloody wedding dress, and you were in something quite dapper.
Yeah.
And we had a toaster and a crowbar, and we kind of did a photo shoot with that. And actually, the cover from our first record, theblackboy.bandcamp.com. The cover is actually a sticker that we put on the toaster, and we're holding it up with the crowbar, and we
Mhm.
cropped that out, and that's the cover.
That was fun.
So the toaster has been a part of the band for a very long time, and I have thought for many years, toasters make great percussion instruments. And on the cassette, Sad Songs About Sex and Sex Toys and Other Terrible Tales, There are 2 toasters on the record.
There are
2
two
toasters featured.
toasters featured.
Both
yeah.
are in this room right now. Neither of them is this one.
How many toasters do you own at this point?
Just in this room, there are 4. Only in this room, there are 4.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Can we get like merch toasters? Like just like practical merch,
Working on
buy
it.
a
Working on
toaster.
That's branded.
Oh my gosh, yes. Who doesn't
love
love
that.
toast?
Everyone
I think
loves
so.
I
toast.
really want
Oh.
this is a big get. I want to get a toaster custom made that will burn the band logo into the toast.
Yes.
Woo!
That's the thing. I do know some people who can make it happen, but buy our merch if you want us to sell branded toast at our shows.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You want branded toast.
I'm a baker as well, so I can definitely supply the bread.
She
Yep.
makes
Yes.
amazing
The
bread.
toast.
Oh my
With
God.
the
Like
band.
freshly baked dough with like the black void printed on it.
This
Like
is our artisanal
Kickstarter.
black board toast.
Oh my gosh.
Sourdough.
Could we make like Black Floyd sourdough black rye or something?
Yeah,
Ooh.
probably.
Fancy.
Ooh. Like a charcoal sourdough.
Fine.
The black void.
Charcoal.
Oh my I love it. Yeah, it reminds me so much of like the drummer for Against Me, Adam Willard, who actually like uses a car part in his drumming. Which I just think is so cool when people like realize that unconventional items also can sound great and you can like naturally tie them into music, and it like doesn't have to be the most expensive like cymbal or snare or like other various like percussion things that also just cost so much money. You can just like hit something with a stick and be like, you know what? That worked.
That totally works.
Our regular drummer, Jeff, he uses a beat up cymbal, and for one song we need a sizzle. So he puts his car keys. He's got a carabiner on his set, so he puts his car keys around the cymbal and he hangs it.
Yeah,
And
it's a classic Jeff.
it sounds great, and it is a total classic
That's
Jeff.
classic Jeff.
Which, speaking of Jeff, he's absent clearly, and you didn't see him play with us.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We
yeah.
don't normally have a bucket drum.
I'm a synthesizer
yeah.
player. I don't drum, actually.
We normally have a pretty
Different show.
we have a very different show. We do take a couple of these sets from time to time, mostly for fun.
Yeah, we don't do acoustic sets often. We're usually a 4-piece, like plugged in punk band.
Yeah.
Fair, but I feel like it gave you that opportunity to like break out the like double bass, I think is what you were
Yeah.
playing. Like, I don't know if that comes out at shows often, but was definitely an awesome add to the acoustic set.
Yeah,
So cool.
Not nearly often enough, but I think we've got a couple acoustic gigs lined up in the near future.
Yeah, we'll be back at Swan Dive in September,
Mhm.
and we're doing an acoustic gig at Tenny's the last Sunday of November.
Mhm.
And then we've got some regular shows. We're playing in
Yeah.
Hamilton. We're playing a couple shows in Barrie.
Yep.
And I think our next Toronto show as of now is Sneaky D's on October 29th.
Awesome. Well, I will make sure that your social media and everything is linked
Oh yeah.
below the video so
Thank
people can stay tuned, hopefully hear about those shows, make sure that they can make it out to one wherever. I know you just like mentioned a bunch of places that lots of people like call Toronto, but they're not Toronto. So like hopefully people can go to whichever show is most convenient for them. But also you're obviously worth traveling for. So if somebody needs to hop on the GO train, do it. You can also check out all the places they mentioned to buy the cassettes. If you do get to see them live, buy their merch. Absolutely be there. Thank you so much for joining me this week. It's been such a pleasure to talk to you, and the Black
Thank you for
Void will
having
be
us.
playing us out.